Hey everybody, Gene Perry here with the Free Hands Academy with Stick Talk number 2. Today we're going to be looking at Minuet number 2 in G major. And so we're going to do the second set of 16 measures. So this is kind of the turnaround or the exposition, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to move down to the relative minor, which is E minor. And so we'll get into all the details of that. Quick note on the first Stick Talk, my friend Konrad observed that I was playing these parts a little differently. And in particular, what he noticed is that in the second measure, I'm playing, but actually it's written as, so one more time and we'll take this. So instead of playing that low D, I'm playing a high G, just because it's easier to get to with my tuning, and because I like the sound of this higher register. Bach's very particular about octaves. You really should play what's written. I'm all for it. This is just easier for me, and this is the way I like to arrange for Bach. So no harm, no foul, right? And then it's a little bit harder, isn't it? So, tip of hat to you, Konrad Park, for actually reading the score. Okay, so right here in front of me, I have the Minuet number 2 in G major, and this is a really great chart that I got off the internet. But look at this. Look at this one. This is one that was given to me by none other than Rob Gellner, the Rob Gellner, appreciator of Johann Sebastian Bach and a fine stick player. So he's written some chords up in there, and I'm not going to argue too many of them. We're going to be looking at this section right here, which starts here, measure 17. And basically the last 8 measures are going to repeat the first 8 measures. So no surprises there, Bach. And I suppose let's just quickly look through what we're going to do. Is we see 2 measures of E here, really. And then he comes down solidly in B, and he's kind of reinforcing the tonic here in these first 8 measures. Of the 6 notes that are played in these first 2 bars, you'll notice that 4 of them are E. So he's really establishing the new tonic, which is the relative minor, which is E minor in this case. And then he's establishing the key of E, E, G, B, right? And then a B, very solidly right there. Another E, and then again another B7, right? And then he kind of transitions here, and we move out of this minor section, and then we see this recurring root G major first inversion C, A minor, D. And so we saw that in the previous section. And then right here, I guess that'd be measure about 29. We have a D chord. Now, one thing I will observe here is that Rob calls this a D sus, but I believe this to be a G first inversion or second inversion, because it's got the B up top, and it's got these 2 Ds, and then it's got G and D. So that with that B included, it could be interpreted as a G first inversion, second inversion rather. But I'm not going to argue with Rob Gellner. And then we have the 5 first inversion, and then we do this little romp in D, which brings us back to G, right? And then we're solidly back in G. So let's take a look at it. We're looking at the second section, so I'm looking right at this part right here. Let's just do these 2 measures right there, okay? So we're going to play. Okay, so I'll play the right hand only. G, A, B, A, G, F sharp, G, E. Now, the voicing on this hand is actually pretty important, so try this with me. Play this, if you're a three-fingered player on the right hand, which I am, try this. And then you want to lead with that second finger there. And actually, when you do that second section, you actually want to play. Right? Because then you want to be able to position that second finger where you need it, okay? So three-fingered melody side players, you know, just be mindful of that. Let's look at the bass hand. The bass hand is playing E, D sharp, B, E, B, E. Pretty rock and roll. Okay, so put them together, we get. Okay, now I've already kind of not said what I was going to do, and that is. And then we play. So let's move on now. So now we're going to do this second section here, which is E followed by kind of a B, B7. So we play. So when we isolate those hands, we have. Try to lead with that second finger so that you're ready for the next measure. Okay, you're going to stay one measure ahead of Bach. So in the one more time in the melody. 5, 1, 1, but try to lead with that second finger. And then you're ready for the. So he repeats that. So in the bass hand, we're just playing E, G, B. And then B, D sharp, F sharp, B, F sharp, D sharp. So G, B. Okay, so put them together, we get. All right, moving on. Now we're moving on to an E minor and a B7 again. So we're basically going to repeat what we just did. So just phrasing, 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 right? So we'll do that phrase one more time. And maybe we'll take all four measures. So we're going to repeat what we played in measures in this first section, which is A, G, and then A in the bass with F sharp G A in the melody, and then hit the B with your second finger. Right? And then D sharp with the low B with the pinky. So we'll hear that together. Ready? So let's take a little break right now. So for starters, you'll notice, I don't know if you're noticing, but like three-fingered players, there's a really economy of motion in your right hand that you can use these pieces to practice with. So when you're playing, that feels pretty natural, but the thing is you have to think about the next phrase. So you have to be ahead of him. Lead with the second finger. So you're ready, right? You're ready for that next measure. You can do a little slide there. I don't know if you caught that. So when you play, and then you're ready for 1, 2, 3. So you're going to skip that third string altogether, and then ready with your first finger. And then if you lead your third finger here, So the thought is this: try to stay one measure ahead of him and really embrace those options with leading with your third or second finger as to oppose what might feel right. Have a vision for the entire piece, and that this way, when you're learning it, it'll just be a more enjoyable experience, and it will be easier to learn because you're setting your hand up, you're staying one measure ahead of him, and just mindful of the changes that are coming up. I'm getting ready to introduce this G first inversion, C, A minor, D. And so it's G first inversion, right? Root in the right hand. So again, so the right hand's going to stay pretty much planted in this one section. You're going to move it up maybe one fret just for that short bit. So okay, so and then in the right hand, you're playing this really clever counterpoint ascending in the left hand. So B, D, G, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, A, D. Okay, so A, B, C, bum, ba, do, dum. So we put those together, we get and then we play actually that G first inversion, C, D, A minor, D part one more time. So we play in the right hand, and we play so ba boom ba ba da 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 da. That's F sharp, D, G, and then D, E, F sharp. So we put those together. So one more time, we were playing. And then we're back into. We're going to do the second half and then just play it all the way through, and then you can kind of use this to contrast and compare how you're playing it. And then when we meet again next week for session number 3, we'll put it all together and we'll make it sound like a performance piece, and we'll note the kind of parts where you could use them as kind of learning opportunities. Okay, here we go. All right, that'll do it. Listen, thanks again for tuning in to Stick Talk. I really look forward to hearing your progress. If you want to share some comments with me on the Stickist, on the Facebook groups, or out here on YouTube, feel free to do so. If I've played something wrong, I'd love to hear about it. And if you have any questions about the Chapman Stick or any of the other bits that I play on Bach, feel free to drop me a line. GenePerry@gmail.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.